Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Rebellious Wellness Lifestyle. Today, we are moving into the world of transcendence through TranscenDance. We're going to talk about masculine and feminine energy. My guest, Jennifer Joy Jimenez, is the expert in, I would say, transformation using the body, the mind, the spirit. A lot of people say that, but her modality, I would say, is unique. And Jennifer, I'm so excited to have you.
It's an honor to be here. I'm super thrilled to be having this conversation. I love what you do. I love the message you bring to the world and your commitment to bringing on experts. And it's just super fun to be having this conversation.
Thank you so much. I'll tell the listeners and viewers that this is going to be a multimedia presentation. We're going to do a little dancing ourselves. We're going to see some of Jennifer's slides because I asked her if she could talk about the science behind her modality, because I know that my listeners love documentation. We want data, even if it is something that sounds a little woo, like masculine and feminine energy. So buckle up. We're in for a fun ride. Jennifer, I always ask my guests to tell people what is their journey from where you started to this, because most people, although there was a glimmer of what they eventually became, they didn't just wake up at 5 years old and go, I'm going to teach 1 million people around the world, right?
Wouldn't that be nice if it was all just the path was laid out and it's the
Yeah.
yellow brick road and there were never no flying monkeys along the path, right?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I'm really grateful that I was raised in a personal development home. My mother is a well-known thought leader. Her name is Mary Morrissey. She is the owner and founder of our institute, the Brave Thinking Institute. That's BRAVE, Brave Thinking Institute. I am the founder and director now of our health and well-being division, which would not have been something I would have guessed or even known way back in the day when I was a young girl in love with dance, growing up with my mother as a minister. She had a spiritual center in Oregon. That was her first whole career. And I left home very young. I left home I'm a bit of a outside of the box thinker. Now, granted, she raised me to go after my dreams. So I did. And I went to Mexico City, where my husband is from. I went to New York City. I ended up landing in Los Angeles and pursued professional modern dance as my very first career. And I had been exposed to mind body movement and the power of the mind body spirit connection as a thought leader. My mother would bring some of the Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, so many names would come out to our spiritual center and speak. And the founder of NIA, Debbie and Carlos Rosas, and the creator of Soul Motion, Vin Arjuna Martin, really some of the greats of the greats I had seen and been exposed to. Each person needs to make their own way and
Yeah.
pave that own way. And so as I left that world into what we call the regular world
The
or
real world.
the real world, and as a young, very impressionable woman, I very quickly received a lot of messages that my body was not okay the way it was naturally designed. I'm a more of a kind of a mid-sized woman. I'm not super naturally thin. I was about a size ish in high school, which is definitely not the ideal size to be a professional dancer. So I got graded in ballet class. They gave you a grade on your body size,
Mm.
which I hope they don't do anymore.
Yeah,
This was
right? God.
like many years, many moons ago. So, very quickly, all of that to say, I created this adversarial relationship with my body. It was very much this no pain, no gain, suppress the body's signals for hunger, for rest, for any sort of rejuvenation. It was push the body as hard as I could push it, get as flexible as I could, get as thin as I could, and perform to look a certain way, to feel accepted and enough and worthy. I'm sure none of the listeners out there can relate to this story, regardless of
Nor I,
whether
Jennifer, nor I.
whether we're whatever the path is. You don't have to be a professional dancer. I just turned 50. And if you're in that range, for decades, we've been handed messages, particularly now all people, but particularly as women, that our body signals are not okay, that as we age, things just get worse and go downhill, that it is really all calories in, calories out. So if your body isn't the size that they say is the ideal size, you're just doing something wrong. You're not trying hard enough. You're not burning enough calories, and you really definitely don't have enough self control and self discipline. And that created a tremendous amount of burnout, unhappiness, even major body dysmorphia. And I was probably the unhealthiest I've ever been, even though in your 20s, you can get away with some of that for a period of time. And people can look at you and go, wow, look at her. I looked like the picture of those professional dancers because I pushed my body to its extreme. I ended up becoming pregnant. I was married, being careful with air quotes, and switching birth control, got pregnant at 25, which was younger than what was the plan as a professional dancer. And immediately it catapulted me into a new paradigm, the old paradigm of everything suppressed. I'm not listening to my body. The new paradigm is I can't ignore. I guess I could have, but I always wanted to be a mother. And so to love the baby that lived in my body, what was required was to listen to my body, to respond to its hungers and feed my baby, which meant, oh, I'm feeding me. To not overtrain because I started to spot, right? And my body was saying, that's a little too hard. So I would pull back and be more moderate. And I danced all the way through that pregnancy, 9 months, but it was a different level and rhythm of training and dancing and resting when my body I turned back on. If you think about all the lights in the house are off, like one room at a time, the lights came back on, and I began to really start to heal the dysfunctional relationship with my body. Now, that doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time because I had spent years really in that old pattern. So when I wanted a natural birth and did everything in my power, read the books, did the yoga, did the classes that they had at the time, I entered birth very much like I'd entered any professional experience. There was a lot of control and a lot of pressure, which I think that tells you where that might lead. Instead of the all natural birth, it was 6 to 8 hours that I knew was going to happen. And it was in my birth plan. It was a 50-hour labor, nothing like my birth
Oh my
plan.
gosh.
I ended with an epidural, which I didn't want, that then threw me into a bit of postpartum depression. But it was one of the greatest gifts I could have been given because it just put right in my face the true adversarial relationship that I was still actually in, and that restrictive energy. So, whether it's birth or for the listeners, that if we think about how do we treat our bodies really? How do we treat our bodies really? Is it nurturing? Is it caring? Is it speaking kindness and love? Is it looking at food for really what it is, fuel and energy and a way to nourish the cells in our body? Or is it this push, pull, and sacrifice, and this is cheat food, and I really want that? Like just all the games that we play. And I'm saying this because I know the truth is, statistically at least speaking, and having coached in this world now for many decades and helped literally tens of thousands of people, but particularly women, transform their relationship with their body. When we really get honest about how we're speaking to our bodies, how we're treating our bodies, what it feels like to be in the body, and how we're moving our bodies, it's the typical training is not a very loving relationship. It's like things are just breaking down, and then I take my body to the doctor to get fixed.
Yeah.
But that I don't have ownership. And I love what you stand for, that we are the CEO of our own health. No one lives in our body. No one knows and feels what's really going on in our body. And no one takes care of our bodies but ourselves. My naturopathic doctor, I love his analogy, which he says, your body is your firstborn. Speaking of birth, who puts you to bed at night? Who feeds you? Who bathes you? Who dresses you? You do. No one else, unless you physically can't do that for yourself anymore because of physical issues. But for the most part, the majority of us are our own caretakers. And with that adversarial relationship, it only creates restriction and constriction. And make no mistake, our cells are listening to
Absolutely.
the inner conversation going on when we wake up and we look at ourselves in the mirror and we start squishing the belly fat or poking at our wrinkles and lifting our chins, all the things we do, versus saying, look at you, beautiful, gorgeous being. Each
Yeah.
day in every way, I'm getting better and healthier. And as I take in my fuel today, I'm sending love into I was not doing that at this point. Let me just say it that way. As a young mom, I got very hungry to honestly figure out the disconnect because I did visualization every night. I did everything in the books to create the result that I knew was possible for me. And it couldn't have been more opposite. So I said, okay, I'm not broken. There's not something wrong with me. There's just something I'm missing here. Clearly, there's a brain body disconnect. And I started to read every book I could on the mind body connection. I started to find conscious dance classes, which couldn't be more opposite of traditional class. In a traditional class, you're staring at yourself in the mirror, critiquing every inch of your body and how it's moving. There's a right way to do it, a wrong way to do it. There's a ton of comparison. There's the person who's front and center and looks perfect and gets it right, and then everybody else. In a conscious dance class, you come in and there's no mirrors. The lights are dim. There's no people looking you up and down going, who's she? There's just love in the room. The music evokes this different energetic experience. Like immediately, it activated my what I like to call like my soul self or my soul dancer or my wise woman within that isn't bound by my physiology or what I weigh or the size on my jeans or any of that. There's this part of me that I believe always what the dancer was seeking was the freedom I found in conscious dance. My very first conscious dance class, I felt like I'd been a caged bird all my life and I didn't even know it. And somebody walked over and put the key in the cage and I flew out free for the first time. And it was just this truly spiritual, transcendent connection with my higher self, the power breathing me, my spiritual self, and my body just came alive in ways I've never I'd never experienced up until that point. So I'll fast forward. The 4 years between my daughter and then my son that was born was really transformative. I also, conscious dance healed the birth trauma that I didn't even know I had embodied. And most people don't realize that our bodies are a recording device. The body keeps the score, right? Our issues live in our tissues. In order to heal it, we've got to feel it. So it was such a beautiful time of healing and transformation and learning and really opening up energy blocks that I had that I didn't realize I had through these classes and these teachers. And then I began to codify my version of conscious dance, which is now TranscenDance. This was my daughter's 25. So 25 years ago. But my second birth was really a great testament to the transformation that can happen. It was a 2-hour labor and birth.
Wow.
All natural, ecstatic experience. I'm not going to say it wasn't hard. Birth is birth. And I was just going for surrender. I was just going for trust. And I really just wanted to have an experience where I knew innately that my body and our bodies, whether you've had birth or not, this isn't really about, it's a birth story, but it's about so much more than bringing babies into the world. This body that we have is a portal. It's a vehicle that it houses or activates our life force energy. It really is what it is. I believe we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Now we'll get to the science. I know this is a little bit woo, and I know your listeners love science, and we'll get there. I promise I've got all the data and you're going to love the data. And if that's what's required to get you to dance, all the better for it. Because listen, I think we all want to know, what is this really doing for my cardiovascular health and my balance and my bones and my muscles and my brain? And we got all that data. We'll get to that. And I believe there's so much more to life than just that, right? That we're here to bring forth our gifts and talents to make it like you having a podcast where you're bringing information to people. How do you bring that forward? Through your voice,
Mhm.
through your hands, through your life force energy. And if you have blocks or a lot of self judgment or inner criticism, or you're berating yourself or not treating yourself with energy, it's like a big dark blanket covering your light. And you're not going to bring forth your greatness in even nearly the same energy than if that blanket of judgment and control and criticism that so many people carry was lifted so that you could just shine your light and speak your truth and bring forward what's really yours to bring forward. And I believe every single human has something special, important, creative gifts and talents that is theirs to bring forward. And these operating systems, so to speak, that we inherit from culture about what it means to age, what it means to have a body that's a certain size, all of that stuff really dims our light.
Now,
And
I would like to
so,
just interject here that
yeah,
it sounds to me like the perfect storm for a person who's entering menopause or postmenopausal. The body going to do what the body going to do. It's important that we move it, but I know it's easy to look back as a parent, right? Now the kids may be out of the house, maybe never had kids, you're out of your career, maybe you never had, but you've got this time. There's more time as we age, it seems, to ponder. And so it's easy to get into judgment, whether it's I'm moving slower than I used to, I can't touch my toes in yoga anymore, or why didn't I make a different decision and I should have gotten my master's degree. It's an easy time to just go into that negative head, to pull that blanket further over our light, as you're saying. And then it takes energy. And a lot of women are worn out by the time they're 50, 55, 60, if they don't have that inner spark firing them up.
yeah, it's so true. Here's the beautiful message that I'm so grateful I found mentors and like you who are singing a different song and providing hope where our bodies are resilient. And this is the most magical time for women. The 50s and 60s and 70s. I love one of the mentors that my mother was a colleague with is Barbara Marx Hubbard. She talked about vocational arousal. She talked about this time in our lives is one of the most important when the ups and downs of the hormones that we used to have when we were cycling and raising babies and really busy with careers. There's just this awakening and this opportunity to really get in touch with who you are, why you're here. And also, just some of those masks can really easily fall away where we're not caretaking and putting everybody else's needs before our own. This is the time to say, what do I really want? What would I really love? What sparks joy in my life? And movement and dance, if you want to get into some of the science, would this be a good time for that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to show us a slide, and whether you're seeing this or not, I'll explain it. So there's a slide here that says our issues live in our tissues, which is a slide that represents the meridians of energy that run through our bodies. If you've ever heard of acupuncture, where they're putting little needles in to allow more energy to flow, it's an ancient Chinese medicine tool that everybody knows and believes in. Even allopathic Western medicine will send their clients to get some acupuncture. All of this energy is running through our bodies. Now, why they say sitting is the new smoking is because literally the fascia, right, needs to be able to move. And our lymphatic system, the only way our lymph system flushes toxins is if the muscles are contracting and releasing. So if we're sitting, the muscles aren't doing that. And we literally become like a river without an outlet. What happens? The river becomes toxic. So we want not only the energetic energy to be moving through our body, but we want that circulation. We want the lymph system really activated. Now, in addition to that, stuck energy in our body can feel like a kinked hose. So if you're sitting around all day just watching TV And then the thoughts in your mind are, I'm just getting older. I'm just getting weaker. It's just going downhill from there. Emotionally, it's like having a kink in the hose. Now, some of us have some kinks emotionally and physically in our hose that are a single kink. This is a picture of a hose with one kink on the grass. And then the next image is a mess of a hose that's got like 1,000 kinks in it. And it's meant to be slightly a joke, but quite honestly, I have a lot of clients that come in and they really are a mess. They have a number of different health issues. They're on different medications. They're mobily really challenged and they're saying, what do you got? Like, I really don't want this to be the rest of my life. I'd love to improve my health. And I say, I got you. It really, a little goes a long way to unkink the hose and to bring more flexibility and more circulation into the body. And as you begin doing this, just like my lights in my house were turned off, the lights in the house turn on, and you have more clarity in your mind, more energy in your body, more circulation, more mobility, and and the mind is extremely resilient. So fluid energy in your body unleashes freedom, flow, and liberation. So this is a picture of a hose with water flowing through it. That's our life force energy. It literally is water in the body. It literally is blood circulating throughout the body, but it's also energy. We are energetic beings. And in order to heal the body, you really do need to feel some of the locked and suppressed emotions that many of us have. And most importantly, I would say the relationship with our own body. A lot of the voices, if a woman has a high degree of inner critic, she may not even realize how she's speaking to her body. So the first step is to listen to what you're saying. And then the second step is to ask yourself, whose voice is this? Is this one of my parents? Is this my old coach? Is this my old gymnastics teacher that used to berate my body? But really, truly, in very quickly and easily, you can listen to it. You have the ability to press pause from a metacognitive standpoint. You can hear what you're saying, press pause, and then just cut the tape and begin to replace a statement. Look at how fat I am. Look at how old I am. Oh, here I go again. I'm losing my balance. Like, your body is listening. So immediately hear those thoughts or whatever those statements are and replace them and say, you know what? Each day in every way, I can choose activities that create regeneration, that create greater youth. I'm going to choose to really love my body and believe that my body has the ability to regenerate itself. And it does. We are, again, energetic beings. There's electromagnetic energy coming up from the earth that we can actually harness and tap into. There's energy circulating through the body, coming in through the quote unquote crown of the head, crown chakra or crown energy center. We live in this quantum field. Every thought that you're thinking is impacting your body. I love Dr. Emoto's work on water, where they spoke words of love into the water versus words of hate. And then they literally looked at the water under a microscope. If you haven't seen this, just Google Dr. Emoto on YouTube. It's got millions of views. You'll see it. We are mostly water. We are mostly water. So the thoughts and the feelings that we are thinking and feeling are impacting our cells, our organs, every aspect of our being. Now, here's some really great research about dance in general. The research proves that just a few minutes of music and dance releases a cascade of happy hormones. This is not a pill. This is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, a few minutes. These are neural hormones that produce a natural high. And I don't have this slide in here, but a more recent study took SSRIs, so antidepressant medications, by themselves with weightlifting, with walking, with hobbies. And they did a whole study on what creates mental health improvements in their patients, and just dance alone, not even combined with SSRIs, outperformed all the rest by head and shoulder. It's amazing.
Wow.
The body can produce its own natural antidepressant, just dancing with music that you love. Of course, it's got to be a song that really ignites joy, and we all know what that is. I love this study at the Semel Institute for Neuroscience and Human Behavior. did a conscious dance study with some of their patients. It produced mental health benefits in 98% of the participants at UCLA. Again, SSRIs, the antidepressants that every allopathic doctor is going to give a woman who's saying, I don't feel good, I'm in menopause, do not produce 98%
No.
benefits. They don't. So this is incredible, the science. This is one of my favorite, speaking of aging. So the New England Journal of Medicine did a 21-year study that reported dancing increased mental acuity and decreased Alzheimer's and Parkinson's by 76%. That is
It's
incredible.
huge. Yeah.
The way the brain wires and fires new neuronal pathways, right? Whatever wires together, fires together. The problem is most of us do the same activity every day. We walk, we get up, we brush our teeth, we go get our coffee, we sit down and watch our morning news or whatever it is. So your body's moving linearly in the same well-worn pathways. Why? One of the reasons why this works so well is dance is creative movement. Your brain is on high alert to keep yourself safe in space. So it's wiring and firing it's staying young, it's creating new neuronal pathways that wouldn't have normally been fired and wired if you were just moving your body. And like just taking a walk is fantastic, but we do that every day. The
Right.
brain's not on high alert. So creative movement is creating that longevity and that youthful brain wiring, which is so powerful. And when we sit or when we're not moving or when we let the voices of fear, doubt, and worry, and I will say one of the first things I put my clients on is a news fast because they're looking at negative news on their phone. They're looking at negative news all over the TV because it's what gets views. It has a constrictive fear energy. Our body is walking around in that fight or flight state. So we go on a news fast, and trust me, if there's something you really need to know, you'll find out. And music and dance can activate this energy of these happy hormones, an energy of aliveness, an energy of more creativity and expansion. And it increases our cardiovascular expansion. It balances us, right? So if you want to improve your balance, if you want to improve another whole study, and I don't have a slide for this, but was done in the UK, and actually dance outperform weight resistance training, which blew my mind. I was sitting on a plane flying back from Europe, watching this whole longevity show, and I'm going along and I'm thinking, and they're studying weightlifting, and then they go to dance. And then the result afterwards was that regular dance in this particular study that they did with people that were over 70, weightlifting versus dancing. And it had to do with the slow and fast twitch muscles that dance creates in the body. I was like, oh, that's amazing. I'm not saying to stop weightlifting. I'm just saying,
Right.
wow, it's amazing. And the other thing it does is that when we just go through our day to day, we can drop into energies, especially as we age, of like you talked about, really feeling a sense of fear around aging. And when we're in that fear energy, it is a contract. And what I'm showing here is the emotional frequency scale. And the highest level of emotional frequency is love and flow and ultimate consciousness. Think about becoming our optimal versions of ourselves. And the bottom part of the scale is shame and guilt and grief and fear. And when we're in that contracted state, that's when we can fall into dis-ease or have injury because we're on such a low vibrational, emotional energy that we're way more susceptible to catch the common cold or to step outside of our door and fall and break a bone. When we're in a state of expansion and love, our whole body is stronger in that vibrational frequency of love. Most people don't realize this, but the heart has an electromagnetic energy field that is 5,000 times greater than the brain's. How do we activate our heart energy? Dance is one of our greatest tools for that. And personal kindness. No more saying mean things to yourself in the mirror when you walk by. Be nice, be kind, be your best friend. And I love this quote by Gabrielle Roth, who is the creator of the 5 rhythms, which is she's really one of the godmothers of conscious dance. She says, When you let your body dance, you strip away the lies and the dogma until all you're left with is the spirit of life itself. Movement is medicine. And if you put the psyche in motion, it will heal itself. So that's just a little bit of the science. I'll stop there because I could get on my soapbox and go on and on about the benefits. But the other thing is it just feels good.
It
Just
does.
it feels good. And I have you know what? There is one other video that might be fun to watch. Maybe we don't have time, but I'll just describe it. It's this, he's got gray hair, he's got canes in his hands, and he's got a bag tied to his side. And you see him walk into this like social dancing environment, and this song comes on, and he's literally can barely walk with his canes, is the beginning part of this video. And then the song comes on, and as soon as he gets ignited with the music, again, this is what happens. The neurohormones kick in. The neurohormones actually increases the body's ability to move. He literally throws his canes. He doesn't need his canes all of a sudden, and he starts dancing. He pulls his hair up. He starts getting into rhythm. Like you can just see he goes back in time at least 10 to 20 years, and he's moving and he's in rhythm and he's playing and he's full of energy. And it's wow, look at what can happen from one moment to the next just by activating a song that sparks joy is super important and key. So for those that are listening that are like, okay, how do we take this into practical life? It's quite simple. Number one, we all know those songs that when we're driving down the highway and we're just ho hum and we're stuck in traffic and we're going to go get our groceries and it's just blah, blah, blah. We're on that treadmill of life. And then that song comes on, and all of a sudden you can't help it. A smile comes on your face. You just can't, you do that little car dance, like it just activates that feeling. That's a clue for us. And you could even just go back to high school. A lot of us, it's those songs in that the year you graduated high school or in your early 20s. Just go into Spotify or even Apple Music and say top 20 songs in the year. For me, I graduated in 1993. It's going to be certain songs from that era that I just are like, oh my gosh, it takes me right back. So fun, so alive. And then just create a little playlist for yourself. And what I tell my clients to do is when you wake up in the morning, dance your way down to brush your teeth. Do a little dance when you're brushing your teeth. Dance your way over to your coffee rather than just walking in your normal pattern. Halfway throughout the day, have another 5-minute dance break where you cause yourself, even if you set yourself an alarm on your phone, where you get up and it's just free dancing. It's just moving in any direction, getting all of your body parts. And in a moment, if we want to try this out, we certainly can. But one of my favorite pieces of the 10 stages of TranscenDance is what I call the body part dance. And it's where you actually give permission to different parts of your body to dance you. I know that sounds a little bit like, wait, what? And how do we do that? But think about your head, like for both of us, right? We haven't moved our head more than about this much throughout this whole interview. Just consider that all day long.
Yeah.
Imagine if for a minute you said, okay, head, how would you like to move right now? What would feel really good? Normally, the head's going to start to move around. It's going to be like, oh, could you please just give me a little circle? Can you please just stretch? And I'm doing a little circle with my head now for anybody who's not watching, but just listening. You're going to turn your head right and left. You're going to maybe tip your ears to your shoulders and breathing a few times. As you move your head, all of a sudden it's, wow, I can just even feel the tension releasing from my head and from my shoulders, just giving my head permission to move in a way that brings more pleasure and aliveness and energy to that upper part of my body. What about the shoulders? What if you said, okay, shoulders, just roll those shoulders back a little bit, open up, you open the chest, and literally that tension, that tightness starts to melt from the body and starts to release, so that in my experience, I don't need to go to the chiropractor. I get massages, but it's literally an internal adjustment. My body knows how to adjust me better than anybody that lives outside of my body. And again, I'm not saying not to have, we can all have a dream team. You have your chiropractor and your masseuse and your allopathic doctor and your naturopathic. You can have your dream team that support you, but you are the CEO of your own health. And if you just give your body a little bit of space to unwind itself, to unkink the tension that life, just living through life naturally creates, then it really will. It'll guide you if you just give it a little bit of attention into feeling so much better each day.
Yeah, and I would say you can use that 5-minute dance break at any time. I remember when I was selling for other coaches and then teaching people how to sell. One of the things that I put into my 5 things to do before you get on a call is to take a dance break.
Nice.
Not just jumping jacks, not which is fine if that's what the person's into, but I said there's nothing like your favorite song to get you out of your head of what are they going to say? They're going to say no, it's going to be about the money. You just can't think that when you're just letting loose. And I have to tell you that my husband, when we go to the grocery store forever, is always embarrassed because if a really good song comes on, I'm just like, I don't even think about it. I'm like dancing down the cornflake aisle. He's just stop. But my body just wants to move. So I go with it.
I love that. You and I should go grocery shopping together. We would have a lot of fun. My kids are
We'd end
always
up on
mortified.
TikTok, or they'd be like the older women who are thinking they're still cool in the grocery store.
Yes, so
That's funny.
good.
So do you want to give us
I
a
would love to move. My favorite thing is to talk about it for a little while, just so people understand the benefit, and then we can get up and move. So if you physically can stand, great. But I actually have clients that are healing from surgery or an injury, and they physically can't stand, and they can do so much more than they realize. You can actually sit in a chair and do the body part dance and move your body in ways that bring aliveness, that feels really good. So the first agreement is there's no right or wrong way to move. All right. So there's no good or bad. I have rhythm. I don't. I can dance. I can't dance. That's a bunch of hogwash. It's not real. It's just a total limiting belief. So everybody, if you've ever seen an 18-month-old hear music, they can't not move their body rhythmic. We all are born with that ingrained in our beingness. We are born to move. So just letting yourself move freely, and no one's watching, so there's no judgment. This is a no judgment zone. This is a self-acceptance and love zone. So that's the other mindset that's super important. And then the third is that to let your body be your guide, which is super foreign to most people. Most people drag their body around, take their body to get fixed, but don't have agency or ownership or even an understanding that still small voice or that sense that the body's constantly talking to us. Sometimes the body's screaming at us, right? But we're not listening. And so the more I allow my body to move me, the more I'm able to hear the subtle signals, like the feather on the cheek, before it becomes the stick on the wrist, before it becomes the 2x4 across my head, or even the Mack truck where our body takes us down because we're not listening to it. And I'm sure nobody's had that moment where they worked too hard until they just completely crashed and got sick. I'm sure nobody has ever had that experience. And we've all had that experience. And so the opportunity is actually to reset ourselves and have this ebb and flow where we listen to the body's subtle signals, have these kinds of wellness tools like breath work or conscious dance or movement, or even just getting outside and taking a walk, but really taking in the nature and not just being checked out. Conscious dance is about checking in, reconnecting, and really finding this loving, honoring, nurturing, caring relationship with our bodies so that we can feel energized and alive throughout the rest of our life. That energy of love and kindness is what activates more youthfulness. So let's go ahead and play a little music. And so if you are listening and you physically can stand, I am going to invite you to go ahead and stand. If not, just sit up tall. And I'm going to walk you through a couple of visual visualizations in your mind. In the other thing that we use in TranscenDance is the mind-body connection, which is, it's always connected, but when you activate the mind, you can actually really relax the body and energize the body in ways that most people just don't even realize they have the ability to do. So we'll do a quick little sound check here.
I have a dream.
All right, so
One day.
can you hear this song? And can you hear my voice
Yes.
with the song?
My foot's tapping.
Your foot's tapping? Okay. All right. And you can do whatever you want, Gregory Ann. You can,
I stand up, people will be looking at my midriff, so I'll just
okay. You can do whatever feels good to you. All right. So first thing is to feel your body in space. All right. So feel your feet rooted, not just standing on the ground, but like a tree. Imagine there's roots growing down from your feet all the way into the earth. And take a nice deep breath and reach those arms out and up. And then imagine there's energy coming in through the tops of your fingers like branches of a tree reaching towards the sun. And then go ahead and sway the hands and sway the body. I'm going to see if I can get my volume up. Just keep swaying. I'm just going to work on my volume here a little bit. There we go. Now I can hear it. Can you still hear me? Yes? Okay. Now just find your own body tapping your toes or sidestepping to this beat and allow your eyes to close. Just find that own internal rhythm. Find that downbeat and breathe. Breathing in through the nose and exhale out. Now, as you breathe in, let the body expand. Like you're stretching, like you're getting up in the morning and you're just doing a nice stretch, like you're yawning with your body. And as you exhale, let the body drop in. Now inhale and expand. Like you're that tree, the branch is opening wide, and then exhale and let the hands drop down like leaves falling to the earth. Nice. Calming that nervous system. Now we're going to invite different parts of the body to move you. So you can move your whole body through space. Anything goes, anything your body wants to do. Let your head drop forward and just sway from side to side. If it's comfortable for you, do some gentle circles with your head. Focusing on releasing tension, that kink in the hose, that tight energy. Add a little sound and go, ha. Now the shoulders. Roll the shoulders. Roll those shoulders back. And go adding sound. We're going to open up that throat energy center. Go. Now roll the shoulders forward and go, ha. Now keeping the fingers open, the hands open. Let the elbows do a little dance. Like you're carving out space or you're drawing on the walls. Imagine you're drawing circles on the walls on the side. Now reach those hands and fingers out, almost like you're a bird flying through the space. If you can travel with those feet, soar like a bird. Creating different patterns and rhythm with your feet. And turn around if that feels good to you. Now stepping it side to side, let the torso, the next song will come on in here. Letting that torso begin to circle, let the head be loose. Let the shoulders be loose, those arms be open. But allow the spine to begin to move. Now, the yogis say that the youth of the body is directly connected to how flexible the spine is. Have you let the spine open up? Think about being a snake in the grass. Or if you've ever seen a belly dancer, do your best. I know if you're not used to moving this way, it can be like, I'm not quite sure how to do that, but just let the spine open. Circles in the spine. Think of circles and spirals of the DNA. Now the hips. Let the hips move side to side. Create some big circles with those hips. You know those hip flexors that get tight because we've been sitting? Stretch those hips forward and around. The other way. Nice. Breathing. Now, making sure the head is supple. The shoulders are open. The arms and the elbows. The spine and the hips. Connecting head, the tip of the head to the tail. Think of a cat or a dog wagging its tail. That connection between the top of the head and the base of the spine. Nice. Good. Now your legs. Allow the knees to open. Open up those hip flexors, or you can tap the toes forward, sideways. Now let the feet begin to walk through the space, almost like you're maybe walking on hot coals, or you're stepping in mud and what it would feel like to step in gooey mud. Use your imagination. You're activating your brain as you use your imagination. Or what about warm grass? Stepping and dancing on warm grass. Imagining you're 5. How would that 5-year-old you want to play? Let yourself play. You might want to hop, skip, keeping yourself safe. Not everybody can hop and skip, but just even if you just slowly walk, but use your whole body, use your hands, open the arms, step in different directions, stepping back, side, forward. Nice. Now putting it all together, the head kind of swaying, the shoulders rolling, the elbows and the arms reaching up. Reach up to the clouds. Imagine you're tickling the clouds. Reach that chest up to the sun. That torso, nice and flexible. The hips circling. The knees and the legs playing. The feet hopping and skipping. Nice. And you're breathing. There's one more. We have 2 minutes to do one other piece. Let me see here. No, that's not the song. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. So this is the dance of release. It's usually a drum song. And imagine that your body is like an old dusty rug. What do you do with an old dusty rug? You take it outside and you shake the dust out of it, right? You shake it until all the dust comes out. Or a wet dog, what does a wet dog do? It shakes all the water off. Now this is super important because our muscles can get like hard clay. And that's why we feel a lot of tension or even pain in our bodies. So we've been warming up our muscles, like massaging the clay. If you've ever worked with clay, it starts to become loose and pliable. Then as we shake the body, we're just shaking out tension. Now, if you hop, even if you can't lift your feet off the ground, but just let the heels lift up and down like this, hopping motion activates the lymph. Now you want your body to be loosey-goosey, like you're shaking out an old dusty rug, and you're releasing tension. And you can also bring to mind anything you're worried about, anything that's causing heaviness on your heart, anything you're having trouble with. Just shake it out of your body and send it as if there's like a bonfire here or a drain, and you're going to send all the negative energy, all the fear, all the worry down the drain so your body doesn't carry it. Because guess what? Whatever you don't release will find a way to activate itself. So we want to release it. We don't want to hold it in our body. So take the shoulders, whatever you're shouldering, wipe it off your shoulders, down in the drain. Say, I'm releasing it. I'm letting it go. Wipe it off the shoulder. Wipe it off of anything that's heavy on your heart. Kind of wipe that down. Wipe down the legs. You're going to feel so much lighter. Would you love to feel lighter? Just shake it off of your body. And guess what? If you don't activate the lymph, that's what causes toxicity in the body. So shaking the body is activating the lymph. You can tap down the body. Use your hands to tap down, creating loose energy, loosening all of that up. Tap down your whole body. And And then use sound. Go, ah. Shake your head down, mess up that hair. Shake the shoulders, shake the spine, shake the hips. Like you're on one of those vibrating plates. If you've ever done that, you can actually vibrate your own body. Shake it out. Shake it. And then we're gonna, once you've released, it's not enough just to focus on what you're releasing. What you want to do next is you actually want to focus on what is it that you're generating? Because we're generating energy as much as we are receiving life coming at us. We're co-creating the energy. We're choosing, who am I being today? Am I being somebody who focuses on gratitude, self-kindness, and self-love? Or focusing on all of the negative and what's wrong with life? So imagine for a moment, take your hands to your heart and just let your body sway right foot to left foot. By the way, you're balancing left brain and right brain, yang energy and yin energy, just by swaying your body from right side to left side. Even if you're sitting, you can just lean to the left, lean to the right, like the wind, like a tree blowing in the wind. Take your hands to the center of your chest. Both hands, just place them right at your heart center. And we're going to receive 3 deep breaths, breathing in through the nose. Exhale and just let it all go. Breathe in loving kindness. Exhale the rest. What can be really helpful is also to bring to mind someone you love unconditionally. It could be a grandchild, a pet, someone living or even someone no longer living that you experience this energy of unconditional love with. Bring this beautiful soul to mind. And then allow yourself to feel that warm and fuzzy feeling of that energy of love. And then imagine this energy of love becomes a bubble that rises, surrounds you so that you are swaying inside of this bubble of love. And then we'll activate self-affirming statements. I am loved. Repeat after me. I am loved. I am enough. I am enough. Each day in every way, I am getting healthier and healthier. Each day in every way, I am getting healthier and healthier. And so it is. And so it is. Beautiful. That's a little mini practice. Little mini practice.
Big mini practice.
Yeah.
Sharing that.
Yeah, so fun, so fun.
So I want to tell people where they can find you. It is at thebravethinkinginstitute.com, yes?
Yes, I would love to give everyone a free class pass if that works for you. So
awesome. We'll put it on the show page.
Yeah, they just simply go to BTI, which is the acronym for our institute. So B as in brave, the T as in thinking, I as in institute. So just bti.com/dance. That will take you to the TranscenDance page. When you go to click to register for a class, I teach 2 Saturdays a month at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm in Southern California, but here's the great news. If you register or when you register, whether you can come live or not, we're going to send you the recording and the fully curated playlist. So it's, even if you can't come live, it really is worth it. Go ahead and use the free class coupon codes. When you go to check out, just choose any date. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, if you can come live, that would be great. But just choose something. That way you can get a fully downloadable class and use the free coupon code, all lowercase, free class, FREECLASS. Come as my guest, as Gregory Ann's guest. And yeah, just super thrilled to be here and to share this incredible life-enhancing tool.
And it's really easy. I was pitched by somebody the other day much honor to this person whose technique is about living without pain and healing inside and out. And when I read the FAQs, like how long will this program take? An hour a day of intense mindset training, and then 60 to 90 minutes a week with it. And I thought, you know what? That's for a very specific subset of my group of people. That is not me, and it's not most of my people.
Yeah.
And dance is so easy, right? It's
Oh,
joyful, and you said there's no rules, not like ballet or jazz or foxtrotting, or it's just move your body, get in touch with your body.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So
beautiful.
good. So good.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very,
so
very
much.
much, and for so much great information and the dance and the great music. And I will definitely take a class. I know I'm going to use that free class coupon.
Yes. I would love to see you. Make sure you let me know when you're coming so I can give you a special shout out and
Oh,
welcome you.
thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. And when I get to Southern California, I'm hoping to get to California in November. If I
Yay.
do, maybe I'll come take a live thing.
Oh, that would be amazing. Please do. Please
Yeah.
do. I would love to have you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. And thanks again. We appreciate you, Jennifer. And people, I'll be back next week with another fabulous guest. Be well till then.